What's up, guys? Welcome back. So, today I want to talk about pretty much Shrek, which is one of the greatest cinematic achievements ever produced in our lifetime. I think this movie is probably one of my old time favorites growing up as a kid. Because honestly, when you watch Shrek, it's an interesting movie because you consider the fact that it's a romantic comedy mixed with a little bit of that swamp real estate. Despite this being a romantic, it's still really enjoyable. But this film, thinking about it, is that's pretty interesting in the sense that I don't know if there's any other film that compares to it, but it's definitely a movie where the main character gets the girl or the guy at the end, but in this case, the main character gets the girl at the end, and not just that, but along the way, he gets to meet his best friend essentially. I think that's actually pretty cool and very different. I think that's something that's really hard for you to mix up. And it's funny because his best friend so happens to be a donkey, which is honestly relatable. Enjoy about the movie is Shrek's character before he's introduced to everybody else. I think you can still relate to him as being somebody who you still like to enjoy a meal by yourself, but at the same time, you don't mind the comfort of somebody's company as long as, you're willing to tolerate them because there's some kind of dessert involved. And I'll let you read between the lines on that one. Because for me, I love Oreo ice cream. I can't get enough of it. I don't buy it because when I do, I literally eat the whole tub the same night. Movie Shrek is that it's filled with a lot of adult humor, and because of that, this movie definitely aged like fine wine, considering the fact that when most of us actually watched this movie, we were probably snacking on Lunchables. So it really goes to show that the writers in this film weren't a bunch of writers with empty coconuts. They were definitely fully loaded with a lot of sarcasm, and it's something that you can really appreciate. I really enjoy the fairy tale characters in the Shrek series, because you get to see all the fairy tales from all those little books that you probably read when you were much younger, and how they're portrayed as adults, a little bit more realistic and relatable. When you think about Pinocchio, he gives you that energy of, oh, he's that type of friend that lies about going to the gym. And it's also crazy how all the other little fairy tale characters pretty much gaslight Shrek into fighting for the cause, since they essentially invaded his swamp and he just wanted to be left alone. So I thought that was pretty funny and mean at the same time. One thing that's really interesting about this movie is that it's voiced by Mike Myers, Eddie Murphy, and Cameron Diaz. Honestly, they give you one hell of a ride of comedy. I would have never imagined that I would see Austin Powers and Dr. Dolittle finding themselves in some random medieval theme park on the quest to find one of Charlie's Angels. When you put all that together, it's pretty funny, but it just works so well together. It's innovation there when you consider it. One honorable mention that I like to bring up is one of the side characters, which is the gingerbread man. I find his character voiced being freaking hilarious. I think it's funny that the gingerbread man helped produce the movie Sausage Party. So it's like you got this cute little character that went from not the gumdrop buttons to making a movie about food, pretty much making a mutiny against humanity. If you guys haven't seen Sausage Party, I don't recommend it. You guys should still go watch it. It's a weird freaking movie. But maybe I'll dive deeper into that film on another review. But yeah, pretty interesting. Gingerbread Man, the type of work that he's capable of. So essentially, I didn't really want to give too much away on this movie. I didn't want to give too many spoilers, just a few little hints of what you're going to see when you watch the movie. But even though if you haven't seen it, that's fine, because if you've already seen it, I truly believe that this is one of those types of movies that you can rewatch over and over again because you're always going to find something new in this film. It's just filled with so much humor, and the sarcasm that you get to see that the writers were just filling it up with. It just becomes more and more relatable, especially if you're somebody that grew up in the 90s. I think this is an underrated gem. So I definitely recommend you guys to go watch it, because essentially by the end of the movie, you realize that you've been rooting for an ogre who bathes in mud. But yeah, go watch it, you guys. And yeah, obviously, once you guys watch the movie, there's 3 other installments of the film that just go so well. The film's comedy does not get any worse; it just gets even better. And I believe they're filming a 5th film. I'm not too sure. I'm not sure if it's in the works, but definitely a good reason to catch up. Time to binge something. So I guess this is what you would refer to, one of those binge-worthy films. You should definitely rewatch all of them as much as you can, because you're gonna get a real kick out of it. And yes, it is also family friendly, so don't worry about that. The kids won't understand it until they get older, and then they're gonna be able to cherish it even more. But yeah, I think that pretty much concludes my quick little review. Thank you guys for stopping by. I hope you guys enjoy this absolute cinema, and catch you guys next time.